Yeah, he works at like a really big church, so there's a whole bunch of like staff members there, and they play capture the flag. That's what cool pastors do, I guess. We occasionally got violent as players tried to seize the flag. Eventually, 2 people ended up getting injured, so we had to establish some guidelines. One of those rules was no attacks before 8 a.m. One day I showed up around 7 a.m. and began walking to my office. My spidey sense went off. Something wasn't right. Do you guys understand what's going on? So they always have this, I guess some days they have like capture the flag, and if you capture the flag, then you win. But again, I guess like, they got too serious, and then people were like, I don't know. I don't know what they were doing. So one of the rules was no attack before 8 a.m., okay? Let's keep going. Genesis?
Suspecting a threat, I threw open a closet door to find Pastor Kevin hiding.
Kevin.
His plan was to wait patiently for a surprise attack at go time. I was so excited that I slammed the door shut, wedged my foot against the bottom, and yelled, "You're going to spend the day in that closet, Kevin. I'm putting a chair under the doorknob."
Okay. Right? Very pastor-like indeed, right? Okay, let's keep
Love
going.
the energy.
Yeah, I love the energy, right?
But no matter how hard I tried, I couldn't get a chair to fit. Unfortunately for me, I realized he didn't know that. He believed me. So with all the fake confidence I could muster, I sold it. "There's now a chair under the doorknob, Kevin. You can't get out." Yes, I lied, but I'm a pastor, so it was holy lying.
No, terrible.
Well, what did Kevin do? He never tried to open the door. He just believed my lie. I couldn't stop laughing because all he had to do was turn the handle and he would be free. But he just stayed in the closet.
So cool.
Okay. So you guys kind of get a picture of what's going on, yeah? Capture the flag. He like hid there because he thought, I'll just hide here and then I'll get them. But this guy, Pastor Craig, who is the author of this book, he found out about it. So the story goes on how like Pastor Kevin, he actually climbed through like the vent, and like he was like trying to get out.
Oh, wow.
And so it was just like it just went like crazy. And then but like again, the door wasn't locked, but he just believed that it was locked, and because of that, he had a horrible time.
I mean, usually you try to at least turn it
Yeah.
off, like.
All right, let's keep going, Kev.
I wonder if you feel locked or up or taken captive. If so, have you considered that you might be trapped in a self-made prison? You might feel held back from living the life you want to live, not experiencing a relationship you want with God, with little to no hope for future bar you. If you think you're trapped, you believe there's a lock on the door you've bought into a lie, and it is the lie, nothing else, that is holding you back. Yet if you identify that lie, then you can remove it, you can replace it with the truth and be free.
Yeah, so he's using that illustration, and he's saying, what if there's certain things in our lives that we believe in, even though it's not true, just like Pastor Kevin, and we think we're stuck, or we think we're locked up, or we think we can't be free, and because of that, we live this lie, and so we just live locked up, even though we're not. Does that make sense? So we believe in a lie, and we live as though that lie is true, and that holds us back from what we can actually accomplish in our lives. So are there lies that we believe in? Let's keep going. Your mind is a battlefield, and the battle for your life is always won or lost in your mind. But many people are not aware of it. The enemy is attacking and taking them out, picking them out one by one, and they are oblivious. Ever wonder why you can't shake a habit? Why you feel like you can't connect with God? Why you lose your temper so easily? Why you make bad decisions too often? The reason is because your mind is a war zone and you are under attack. It's critical that you become aware of the fight. So he's basically saying all of our behavior, it starts with the mind. And so whatever is going on in your mind and whatever you believe in your mind, whether it's true or false, it's going to affect the way you behave. Okay? And so therefore, you have to be aware that there's always constant, I guess, kind of like what you guys are talking about, the ethical decisions or the good and the bad going like, back and forth, and the decisions you make, everything that you do, it starts from the mind. Let's keep going.
You cannot change what you do, not confront. If you ignore the battle, you lose the battle. Paul made this truth clear. We are not fighting against flesh and blood, but against evil rulers of the unseen world, against mighty powers in this dark world, and against evil spirits in the heavenly places.
Right. And so the basic idea is, if you don't know though that there's a battle in the mind, then what's going to happen? Then you're automatically going to always lose. If you don't know that there's a battle going on, then you're going to be killed off pretty easily. Okay? Let's keep going.
Satan is your enemy. Your adversary is not your boss, spouse, child, or your ex. You are fighting against your spiritual enemy, the devil. Sound too extreme? That's exactly what your enemy wants. There is an old saying that goes, the greatest trick the devil ever pulled was convincing the world that he didn't exist. He didn't want you to believe in him, so he can work subtly on you. Satan is your unseen enemy, whose mission is to steal and kill and destroy. He wants to keep you from God and from the life God has for you.
Right. So basic idea is Satan is trying to wage war in your mind. Because if he could get to your mind, then he could affect your behaviors. He can't force things to do for you, right? But if he could plant lies in your mind, then he wins. And if he says, no, I don't even exist, I'm not even doing anything, then again, he wins. So if we're not aware that there's a battle going on and there's an enemy who's attacking us, then we're always going to lose. So we have to first become aware that there is Satan out there. And then I talked about this in the sermon as well, right? Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from the evil one. So if we're not aware that there's an enemy out there to try to trick us and lie to us, steal from us, destroy us, then we're not going to be fighting. Let's keep going. Kevin?
So how does Satan do this? Simple. He lies. Just like I lied to Kevin about the locked door. Satan's a deceiver. And his strategy to defeat you is to persuade you to believe his lies. Jesus warned us, there is no truth in him. When he lies, he speaks his native language, for he's a liar and father of lies.
Okay. And if you remember, even in Genesis chapter 3, which is the first temptation, he basically threw in like half lies in there. Right? So that's what he always does. Satan always puts in some kind of lies, half truth, kind of truth out there so that we could start doubting. Okay? So the basic idea is there is Satan out there and he wants us to be deceived. He wants us to believe in lies so that we don't get the best things. Okay? That's the basic idea so far. Let's keep going. Here are some examples. If you succeed at something, maybe Satan will convince you that you don't need God. So it's pride. It's like, oh, you don't need God. You got this. If you fail, he'll try to brainwash you into thinking that you'll always be a failure. So if you succeed, he'll push you even more and you say, oh, you're better than God. If you fail, then you'll say, you're the worst ever. So he always exaggerates. Next one. You have a first great date. He'll suggest romance is the only thing that will make you happy. So he'll say, this is the greatest thing. And this is your God now. Your first date with a disaster, he'll whisper that you'll never have anyone love you for who you are. So again, he exaggerates. If it's a good thing, then he'll exaggerate it and make it the best thing. If it's not a good thing, then he'll say, no, you're not even worth loving. No matter what you do, Satan is scheming and trying to lock you in a prison of lies. But you are not his prisoner of war unless you choose to be. So the basic idea is you have a choice, whether you are going to believe in those lies or not. But first, we have to be aware that there is Satan and that he's trying to have us believe in lies. Okay, let's keep going. Genesis?
One more time, because this point is crucial. A lie believed as true will affect your life as if it were true. There is a specific lie I have believed as long as I can remember. Living as if that were true has been one of the biggest limiting forces in my life. For years, my strongest thoughts have always been about my shortcomings. I have always felt inadequate. No matter what anyone else said, my inner voice always screamed, no matter how hard you try, you'll never measure up.
Okay. So again, he's getting personal and he's telling us the basic lie is that, this is what we call psychologically low self-esteem. So he has low self-esteem. So whenever he He already has a low view of himself. And so therefore, whatever he does, he goes, oh, you see? This proves exactly that I'm not a good person, or I'm a low person. Okay, so let's keep going.
After I became a Christian, I felt the call to become a pastor. However, whenever I would give a sermon or a Bible study, I would receive comments like, well, I guess teaching the Bible is not your gift, is it? Ooh. However, negative thoughts went through the roof when I was rejected for ordination in our denomination. The voice roared loudly, "You aren't enough. You will never be enough. You don't have what it takes."
Okay, so already he's pretty discouraged whenever he would receive, it seems like he would receive some kind of criticism or comment. Again, it would affirm the lie that he was believing in, which is, I'm not good enough. I will never measure up. And then it became even worse when, there was a committee and they said, oh, I don't think you should be a pastor, basically. Okay, so imagine how much it drove in the nail for him. Let's keep going.
Driving
Kev?
home,
Yeah.
I felt dejected, embarrassed, confused, and angry. The tears flowed as every possible negative thought played on repeat. But then a strange thing happened. Suddenly, a different voice interrupted the others. God spoke. In that moment, my Heavenly Father said, "You are not who others say you are. You are who I say you are, and I say you are called to ministry."
Okay.
Aww.
So it doesn't matter what other people are saying about you. It doesn't matter if they don't think that you're going to be a pastor. But remember that I have called you. Okay. While that was, of course, one of the most powerful moments in my life and massive turning point, I wasn't suddenly healed of my negative thinking or delivered from every lie that I told myself. The patterns were still there. The consequences were still ingrained. But I began to realize that God had a very different way for me to think and a much healthier way for me to think of myself. So he's saying it's not like just that one time and then all the lies went away. But he's saying at least that was the starting point of which I started to realize, oh, there's a lot of negative things I think about myself, but I could choose to think about the positive things that God is actually telling me. Let's keep going.
I realized God was offering me a choice of whether to continue to believe my lies or accept His truth about me. That's the beauty of allowing God to master our minds. He gives us a new path, a new way to think, but we have to get on board, agree, and cooperate with God.
Yeah. So this is very, very important because some Christians think, oh, I just need to pray to God and then He's going to magically just change my mind, right? Instead of me doing anything. So the only thing I need to do is just pray. Okay? Of course, prayer is very important, but there's also things that I need to do as well. Let's keep going.
Satan's strategy to win the battle for your mind is getting you to believe lies. If you believe a lie, it will hold you back from doing whatever God's calling you to do. Living your life is a lie. You're living your life by a lie is a lot like believing the door is locked when it isn't. On the other side is freedom, but you first have to commit to some personal lie detection to experience the abundant life Jesus came and died to give you.
Okay. Let's go over the main points together. Number 1, if you believe in lies, it'll play out as truth in your life. Okay? So it doesn't matter whether it's true or not. If you believe it, it'll be truth for you. Okay? Number 2, Satan exists and he will tell lies for you to believe in. So you have a choice. Choose to believe in the lie or believe the truth. Okay? And then number 4, you must replace the lies with God's truth. Okay? That's basically the whole book. Okay? But we're going to go a little bit at a time. And we're going to build upon these exercises as well. Okay? Any questions, clarifications? Questions, clarifications? Okay. So we're going to do our lab together, and it's called Auditing My Mind. Okay? So you guys know what an audit is, right? And so the basic idea is A lot of times we're not really thinking about what we're thinking about. Or we're not thinking comprehensively about all the lies that we might believe in. Some of it we do know for sure, but some of it might be like really hidden. Some of it we just got so used to it, and so we don't even think that it's a lie. We think, no, that's absolutely truth, but it could be a lie. So we're going to audit our thought. Okay, what are some of the negative thoughts? What are some of the positive? And we're going to compare the two. Okay, so that's what we're going to be doing. I'm going to, Trace, if you have pens for us, and also maybe some books. Oh, I guess you guys could even do it here if you guys want. But I'll give you guys these papers. And then for you guys who are watching this later, I will link it to the YouTube channel on the description.